What's up? How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
I'm well. Good morning.
Get that back a little bit. All right. There we go.
Now, I'm not going to make any jokes about social distancing. How you all doing?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well, thanks. First, introduce yourselves and tell us who you are briefly. Name of the company, where you are, and then we'll get into your story a little bit later after the questions.
Go for it. Okay. All right. I'm Tom Byrd. I'm CEO of the company and started back in 1979. And it's a company that makes woodworking tooling. And we've always tried to do basically the Chevy rather than the Cadillac. And works well at a competitive price, and that's what we really tried to focus on. So, and this is my son Chad,
Okay.
VP, along with my brother. So.
All right, who's is he sleeping in?
No, he's got school today.
Okay.
He'll be in work
All
here
right.
in a little.
And also, this is your third generation, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure
That's
am.
pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. You're not coming in. The picture is not as clear as I'd like it to be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Clear on this?
Okay, so then maybe it's clear to everyone else. So we're good.
There.
All right, so I'm going to start out with some questions, and that'll be 15-20 minutes. And after the questions, we'll get into your journey and how you got into this and the work stuff. You ready?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff said it's not clear either.
I've got a camera on the computer. I've got a camera on the computer here. I don't know if that'd be any better if we could get through it somehow.
No, the computer doesn't work. It has to be a phone or an iPad.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It's just our Wi-Fi. We're so far away from
Okay.
it.
All right. Listen, with that accent of yours, that means you're somewhere in the backwoods. Now, let me tell you, I'm from Louisiana, so I'm not a city boy talking about your accent.
Yeah.
What word or phrase do you overuse?
What word or phrase do we overuse?
Yep, either of you.
I have no idea. Word or phrase do we overuse? Like personal or business or what?
Any. These are life questions.
Oh, shoot. I don't know. Probably that. I don't know.
Maybe that's it. Oh,
Yeah,
shoot, I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. What is your least favorite thing to do?
Least favorite thing to do. Least favorite thing to do.
I know someone doesn't like to clean up.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate folding laundry. There we go. I'll put it up if it's folded, but I hate folding laundry.
Dad?
Well, least favorite thing. I'm an elder at church, and so when there's problems come up, I don't like to deal with them, but we've got to do it. So I don't know.
Okay. All right.
I don't like.
I'm sorry.
I don't like confrontation. So.
Okay. All right. I was going to joke about last night. What is your most favorite thing to do?
Spend time with family. I love spending time with family and friends.
Yeah, I've got kind of an extended family. I'm in a barbershop chorus, and so I love to sing and like doing that. So
Extended family, did you mean like 2 wives or like, what do you mean by that?
Yeah, 2 wives. No, the Corp. Yeah, good. There's a lot of camaraderie with that, so it's a lot of fun.
Okay. All right. What is the one thing your spouse or significant other would like to change about you?
She says I procrastinate,
2
but
perfect relationships.
Yeah.
She says I procrastinate, but I don't. So I don't know what the deal is there.
I just got married in June, so I don't know yet.
Hello.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Soon as you get home. What makes you tick?
What makes me tick?
Wow. These are hard questions.
Not really. Just stuff we don't think about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know. It's always good to have friends around and do things with relationships.
Yeah. My faith and family probably for me.
Okay. What irks you the most?
Hurts the most?
When I see other people get hurt. It hurts me to see other people in pain.
Okay. What sound? Okay, wait, I'm missing an answer.
What? Me? What irks me
Yeah.
most? Shoot, I don't know.
Yeah, both of y'all got to answer all the questions.
Give my brother
You
in
have
on.
different opinions.
Oh, shoot, I have no idea. I don't know. Dishonesty, probably.
Okay. What sound makes you happiest?
Sound.
I've already said it. Barbershop chords. There's certain types of chords in barbershop that really.
Oh.
No, this barbershop. What this is a group of guys singing?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how long have you known these guys?
Oh, 4 or 5 years, I guess. So.
And how did you all get a group going?
It was already going. The song leader at church, he was already in the group, and we're on a praise team at church, and so he said, you need to come and do this. So I went to one of the practices and I was caught. That was it. So
does anyone get a haircut, or you just go to the barbershop and sing?
just sing. We just sing. And joke and cut up on each other, but yeah, it's fun.
All right. Young Byrd,
Yeah.
What sound makes you happiest?
Oh. That's a weird question. Never been asked that. I don't know. Outside of music, I'm not really sure. I want to say music sound, right?
All right.
Ah, man.
It's your answer.
I like lawnmower
What?
sounds. Spring. That means spring's coming for me. Kind of weird, but that's how it is.
It's all good. What profession other than your own would you like to try?
I've always wanted to be a police officer. I thought that would be kind of cool. Dangerous, and it's
Okay.
something I always, admired.
All right. Cool.
I don't know. Early in my life, I thought it would be neat to be a truck driver, to see a lot of country, but not so much now. Maybe flying. I had a son that flew. That would be
Yeah.
just to see things.
Now you do know that you could travel the country and not do it in the truck, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but you get paid for it if you're.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, that's a bonus.
What would you like on your tombstone?
I don't know. You know who Amy Grant is? You know who Amy Grant
No,
is? No, she's a Christian.
I don't.
And she had a song about my father's eyes. So maybe something about people seeing the father in my eyes, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
One of the questions I
Right.
hadn't thought.
Okay.
I don't know. Pretty simple. Just good husband and good father.
I think I found your favorite word or phrase.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, this is gonna go to Dad first. What is it about your personality that drives your business?
I don't know about driving it now, but thinking outside of the box.
Okay.
Not doing things the way.
All right. Young Byrd, you want to say I don't know?
Yeah, no, I kind of know this one. I perceive things differently.
Oh.
I
There
look
you
at
go.
something
Go ahead.
different. So, some people will look at it one way, and I'm like, let's try something else. See if that works.
Chip off the old block. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. All right. What is it about your personality that hinders your business?
Too easy going.
I've been told I'm not hard enough on people, so maybe the same thing. So.
All right. Who would you travel cross country on a motorcycle with?
Travel cross country on a motorcycle. When I had a motorcycle, my wife didn't like getting on it. So probably not her. Probably my brother. That'd probably be my brother.
Right. How far apart are you all?
4 minutes. We're twins.
All right.
Didn't see that coming.
No, I didn't. Dad?
Mm-hmm. I knew you were going to ask me that question.
Hold on, man. Wait a second.
What?
I can't
What?
keep following up on whoever tries to miss the next question.
Yeah.
I'm like him. My wife is not real impressed with riding on a motorcycle, so it probably wouldn't be her. But I think my sons would be fun.
All right. Okay. What was your favorite concert? What church were you in, Dad?
Nashville, it was
The one we went to or something.
no, an acapella. There's a group called Acapella, and so yeah, that's probably my favorite. So
I went to a Casting Crowns Hillsong United Elevation Worship concert in Nashville.
that was good.
By far my favorite concert.
All right, cool.
It was
I see Young Byrd is awakened. he started out slow.
Threw some easy questions.
All right. Right. I got to the good questions, right?
You threw me some easy ones.
What? When was the last time you cried?
My wedding, I think.
Okay. So I'm going to assume those were good tears.
Those are good tears.
Probably a couple days
I hope
ago.
your answer's not the same.
Well, it's wedding. Just a couple days ago, I was watching a movie. I don't remember what it was, but I cry pretty easy. So, I mean, I cry at Little House on the Prairie. So.
That's super soft. What impact do you want to leave on your industry?
You've already made one.
Well, of course, we make the Sheelix, and that's had a huge impact. I don't know, just causing other people to be more competitive. We've had to be competitive, and just it's better for the consumer.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Force competition.
Always is.
Yeah, force competition.
Yep. People do better when someone's on the other side of town.
Yep.
When was the most difficult time for your business, and how did you overcome it?
You know that one more than me.
Several years ago, we probably should have laid the people off, and we didn't. I don't like telling people they can't come to work. So what we ended up doing was working 4 days a week, and we kind of rotated who was off. And I got on the telephone and did cold calls. I mean, I called 4,000 or 5,000 people. I mean, I just called just to see if they need anything, and so that was a hard time. But it was just a few months. That was back in the
708, 08.
No, it was before that. It was like maybe mid-90s or something. Maybe I don't know. It's been a while back.
And how did those cold calls go?
Terrible. Very, very little response, but we were able to cut back enough. Like I say, we did a 4-day week, and everybody kind of took a little bit of the hit, so nobody really lost their jobs. Our cash flow got down.
How many people you have?
At
that time, we had probably 15.
Okay. Right. So, young Byrd, do you want to add anything to that? We're going to stick with that.
I guess I'll stick with that because I don't remember that so much. So the hardest time I remember was right after I graduated. So, like 08, 07, 08 when it got rough. That's all I remember.
Okay. All right. All right, Dad. You got any black friends?
Any black friends?
Yes.
You, that count?
You know, let me tell you, if there are none and I'm one, yes, it counts.
Well, there's not a lot of blacks in Litchfield. We've got a black that works here at the shop, and I consider to be a good friend of him.
Yeah, Brian's pretty cool.
And then at church, Bowling Green, I've got a couple good friends there, but there's just not very many around here.
So the first thing is I'm happy that you have a black person on staff. The second thing is, do you ever get into black churches?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On vacation,
Um,
we'll drop in and sometimes.
Do you ever how do you feel about the difference in music spiritually from the white churches and the black churches?
There's a difference. Well, I have to tell you, when I was in college, I was in a little singing group, and we went to a predominantly black congregation, and they had a choir. We sang first, this white group. It was like, man, I wish we hadn't sung.
It's just a different in emotions, that's all. How many? Oh, go ahead, young Byrd.
Yeah, I have several black friends from college, so met a lot of kids.
Where'd you go to school?
Western Kentucky University.
Okay. I've heard of that.
Hmm?
Do you often see people of color in your industry?
Yeah, trade shows we do. I mean,
We don't see a lot of people in the industry. We don't see a lot of people. Once a year we would go, and that's about it. So
yeah. Well, for us, it's big wood cutting industry is not really what we're in, shop stuff, but yeah, outside trade shows, yeah, it's just kind of hard to see a lot of different people.
Okay. Who would you most like to have a conversation with?
Our governor of the state. Say we agree on everything.
And I'm not going to get into that.
Agree on everything. Say that. I would like to talk to him though.
Shoot, I don't know.
And I assume you want to talk at him and not to him.
What I'm gonna say.
Okay, so that's enough. That's the last of the questions. So now we get into how you got into business. Say that again. I'm sorry.
Got to answer.
He's gonna miss one.
Oh, that's right. He keeps ducking out. My fault. Who would you like to have a conversation with?
It'd be cool to talk to Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln, just to see how it was. I have love history, so like Civil War kind of stuff, just to see what he was going through. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that time was good for me. People of color, which resulted in me, but yeah.
Not that old,
but yeah.
Okay, so the conversations are done, and we'll get into your journey, how your dad, grandfather started the business, how you all got connected, how you get into what you do, and how you made a lane for yourself in the business.
Okay. So like, I don't know. Where do you want me to start at?
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, right? Dad is gonna start, and you can assist.
That sounds good.
Okay, that means I need to start talking, right?
Yes, the floor is yours.
All right, how we start? Okay, well, my father and I both worked at a tooling company. They made saw blades and cutter bodies and cutters for woodworking. And back in 1978, and in Jersey City, he was vice president of manufacturing. I was not old enough to work in the shop, so I was in shipping. And he was having trouble trying to get people to work. So he ended up having to go out and operate equipment himself. So he made an agreement with the owner of the company that he would buy the machine shop portion of it, and basically just start his own business by doing the machine shop part. And so that's how we started. That was in 1979, and it was strictly just the woodworking tooling, the machine shop. We didn't do any saw blades, never have. And so the agreement was that he would pay a certain percentage of what he bought from us to pay for the equipment. That way, we wouldn't have to worry about cash flow happening to him. So that's what we did. He wasn't very good at paying the 10%. So we ended up, basically he broke the contract. So we went elsewhere.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. So when I asked you about the toughest time in a business, this was really it.
Well, I mean, the startup was tough. So so basically we went elsewhere to get work for the shop, and we would get a job for maybe 50 pieces of something, and so we lived an hour from where the shop was. So we would go there, my father and I, and we would take turns running the saw. It took a long time to cut these pieces off. So the other person would sleep in the truck, and so we made hay when the sun was shining, basically. And so we just worked around the clock to get these parts done, and then we would try to go get the next job. So we did that just to make ends meet with it, keep busy. So that's how we started, and then we ended up moving.
Wow.
From Pennsylvania is where we had the shop. We ended up moving from there to Tell City. My mother and father were, that's where they were from. And so they kind of moved back home. And so we worked there. And then we went from there to the Falls of Rough, where we built a new factory. I took a couple years off and went to school. Went to college to get some business background because I had zero. So I did an express lane to learning as much business as I could. They kept telling me I had to take all of this fluff stuff, and I said, I'm not doing it. I'm paying for these classes. These are the classes I'm going to take. And they kept telling me, well, you know, you're not going to be able to get this degree, whatever. So I don't care. I said, I want the education. I don't care about any title. And so I ended up taking like marketing, personnel management, business law, the classes that meant something. And they said, well, if you want to go back and get your 4-year degree, you're going to have to take all this other stuff. And I said, don't worry. So I had 2 years of a lot of business. So that's it. They called it an applied.
And what difference did that make?
Well, when I look at financial reports, in order to be able to make business, makes a difference. If you don't know if you can, spend $70,000, it's just a shot in the dark. And I feel like I have a better feeling as to what we can do cash flow wise, and marketing, and knowing a little bit about personnel law and that sort of thing. So.
Okay, so at this time, besides your dad doing what he did he have any education in that field?
No, I took some computer classes in college.
Your dad? His dad?
Yeah, his dad.
I took some computer classes, but basically it was just to whet my appetite. So, yeah, so I ended up doing my own studying, o'clock in the morning, just reading through computer books, that kind of thing. You mean as far as my father, what his education was? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. He was maintenance, like for Alcoa, like the director of maintenance at work operations. And then also he had worked at like 3 or 4 different woodworking companies. So woodworking tooling companies. the machine shop. But he had metallurgy and
Yes.
different things pertaining to the machine shop, engineering.
But yeah, I was referencing the business aspect of it that you stopped and went to school to get. And I was wondering if there was an urgency on that. There was an urgency to do that because there was no reference of that. My father was an auto mechanic, and he had no business. He knew nothing about business.
Right. Well, I've got a brother and two sisters, and they were not really interested in the business, and so my dad knew that I was going to be taking over the business someday, and so something I knew I needed to get, and he kind of encouraged that also. So.
Okay, so he knew. Got it. Okay, so when you all built this factory, how big was it?
A little less than 10,000 square feet. Yeah, what we're in now is a lot larger.
And how long were you in that 10,000 square foot shop?
About 15 years, I believe.
Okay, and at what time did you start making the cutter heads? How did that come about?
You mean the Sheelix that we're doing now?
Yes.
I guess it's been almost 20 years. We were in that shop.
Oh, so you were always making those. You just started doing it for yourself.
No. We started making bodies for braze tip tooling. That's all we did. We just did the machine shop part of that. In other words, we didn't do any of the carbide brazing. And so basically, instead of buying a tool that had the braze tips in it that were on a helical pattern, I decided we needed to be able to do the same thing with inserts. So that's kind of what we did.
Okay. And how big is your space now?
We got about 75,000 square feet.
Wow. And how many employees?
30. I think about 35 right now.
Wow. So business is good.
I'm good.
Yeah. A lot of CNC.
What is your most popular product?
The Sheelix. Hands down.
Yeah, specifically for the DeWalt 735 planer. Yeah. By far.
Now, the DeWalt, that's a little bitty planer, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The bench
And
top.
how much is the head for that?
What is it?
It lists at 480 something.
Okay. All right. And what's the biggest you make?
The biggest one? We made one that was 58 inches. Is it longer? That long?
Wow.
58 inches. It was.
So someone's got a planer that's 58 inches.
No, a guy is making a planer around it. Like, you talked to Dad about it, and that was what we could do on the machine that we had.
No, it was 73.
73 inches.
73. Okay. The cut length was 73 inches.
I think it's on our Instagram page. I made a post just about that because it was the biggest thing we've done. But no, the guy's making a machine. He's got a pretty cool page too. I don't remember his name right off, but yeah, they cut huge slabs of like inside of trees. It's crazy.
Huh. Yeah. That'd be interesting to find out who that guy is.
Yeah.
So where do you want to be in 2 years, 5 years?
Well, in 2 years, we have a pretty ugly backlog right now, especially with the portable planer heads talking about. I would like to get to where we can actually start pulling some of those off the shelf as a stock item instead of having such a massive customer backlog base.
Okay,
somebody,
so how do you deal with that?
We've been purchasing equipment and training people to run it. We just got a new vertical machining center that we had delivered and are running, and we've got another one to be delivered in a couple weeks, hopefully next week. And then also, of course, support equipment that goes with that. We've got another lathe getting ready to go into operation. More people to check. We've got like an optical comparator that we use for inspections. So we've got several of those that we've been doing. So just up.
So your backlog is 2 years?
2 years worth of backlog?
I don't know. Probably not 2 years. No, but it's pretty huge.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
It's awesome, but
it wears
in
on.
that case, yeah, as they say, more money, more problems.
Yeah.
So in this case, do you tell people we're not taking any more orders, or do you take the payment and say, give us 6 months, we'll get it to you?
Typically, we don't take payment. Now, if it's an online sale where they have to do a credit card or whatever, then we take the sale. But a lot of that backlog are supply houses that might order 600 or whatever, and so it just takes a while to do that. And usually we try to at least ship them 100 or 200, to go towards that. So.
Okay, so we have a question. Any concern with DeWalt coming out with a Helix cutter on the lunchbox planer?
We had a contract with them. It was a 3-year contract that if they put any kind of head like that on a machine, it had to be ours. But then when Stanley purchased them, then the whole thing kind of went down the tube. But their concern was to be able to make it for less than $1,000 list. And I don't know. They could get a foreign company to be able to do that, but I have not seen anything like that on the radar at all. So they sell so many of them without that head. I don't know if they're interested.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, right? What I don't know how much it cost. You said that they want to list for less than 1,000. If you put a cutter head on it, how much more would that make it?
Street price on those right now is about $600, and so they would have. I mean, if you start counting, everything involved, they'd have maybe $800, $900 into it. But that would be counting their profit also. So there's no way that they could not be able to sell it for less than $1,000. But Stanley was not interested, evidently.
Okay. So if they put your cutter head in it as opposed to a foreign, what would that do to the price? Like, what would they be saving? Or, I mean, the consumer is who purchases it.
Right. Very little. So we are very competitive.
Right. Yeah, and that's my point. Is that would they consider sticking with an American company, or would they just go foreign to match a number?
I mean, you've got quality, price.
I can't hear you.
You have quality, price, and delivery. So We've
Yep.
got the quality. We are very competitive, just almost neck and neck on the price. And we are right now working on our volumes to where we can produce whatever is necessary. So there would be no reason for them to buy from someone else.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. And the only challenge you see with that is what you're fixing now, which is you being able to push out the volume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Would it be possible for us to get a shop tour?
Yeah. I'd go as far as I can. Hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't kick me off going to the back. But yeah, we can walk around if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. We can keep talking as well.
Okay.
Keep it on you.
And we can look at some of your products.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll just start up here. We're in my dad's office on Instagram. Yeah. All right. So like, just real quick, this is kind of where we do all of our testing. We'll get sample heads in, the regular straight blade type heads, and we'll reverse engineer those, make a drawing off of it. That way we can make the Sheelix of it. But this is pretty much where we do all of our testing, because we have a 735 planer right there that we do most of our development on. And then like this is our kind of stock for the Sheelix. We have all the little joiners that we keep stock. And then back here is assembly, where we actually do assemble the inserts onto the Sheelix. That's what he's doing right now. And then where we get the journals, this is where we stock those at. And we do a little bit of our own insert grinding, usually for just jobs. And these are machines that we made specifically just to grind the insert. We get little blanks like this, and then we grind them for little KN400 to 15 millimeter radius knives. That's where we do that. And then the inspection, like the optical comparators we were talking about earlier, this is where this all goes. Just final QC before it goes out the door. Then we have a different type of comparator that we actually made, because all we have to do is look at a line. That's what he's doing right now.
And dropping stuff. So basically, you roll it through to see where it's gonna hit.
Yeah, because all we have to do to make sure is that the shoe cuts flat. So that's what we do. We check every insert to make sure it's seated properly before we ship it out the door. Like I said, I'll go back as far as I can permitting Wi-Fi, since we have basically two sections.
So how long have you been in this current 75,000 square foot building?
15 years.
About, yeah. Well,
A little bit more than that.
probably 20 years, or 18 to 20 years. I don't remember when we moved in. 2001, 2002.
Did you have it all filled up then, or did you just grow into the space?
No, we rented half of it out, and we're still kind of renting. Well, we just lost one of our renters because they bought another warehouse, so we just opened up the rest of it. I'll show you that here in just a second. But yeah, we're using this part of the shop as the machine shop. We have our cutoff saw over here. We get raw steel and anywhere from 40 foot length?
Yeah,
30 to 40 foot length raw steel goes through our cutoff saw. From there, it gets turned in our lathe department. Got to watch my Wi-Fi. But yeah, so this is where we do all our turning. Right here, we're doing little portables. on this lathe. We're doing, these should be for the 735 actually. Another lathe that's getting ready to go into production once we finish fixing it. And then everything that we do, we cylindrical grind the bearing surfaces. Here's our OD grinding department. So we have old equipment that we fix up because it's old. It's either manual or CNC equipment that we, if it's not CNC, we convert it to CNC and put our own motion controller on it and redo electrical stuff. It's just a lot more economical because we don't need a high-end CNC grinder. Not really, not what they can do. What we have here, it works well for the one shift that we run, and it keeps us, it doesn't get behind that often. And if it does, we can start running a second shift. Oh, let's see. Can you still hear me fine? I got off Wi-Fi. I'm just on service now.
Okay.
Then we have our CNC mill department. This is where we actually machine the Helix. This is our new machine. It came in 2-3 weeks ago. It's cutting some heads for the 734, I think, right now.
Nice.
We have little machines in the back. These run the 735s primarily, the two different sizes that we offer. And then we have these two machines in the back that run any features like keyways or pinholes or pulley flats. We run those back here. And then this is the one machine we have that my dad fixed up. We put a giant table on it. This is the machine that we ran that really large Helix on. You can see the old machine is down there, the old table. And then he put this, how long is that? 80-inch table on the machine. 40-inch machine. Yeah. So this is where we cut anything larger than what our VF4s, the 50-inch travel machines can do.
Wow.
We'll show you the open space we have because we have plenty of room to grow, to expand. We do our own black oxide in-house as well, but I can't go down there. There's no service down there. But we do have our own area that we do our own black oxide process. Oh yeah, here's our shipping department. Product for Oliver Machinery. They have their lunchbox style planer. They're actually going to go OEM on their planers. So there's 400 in these boxes ready to go. Yeah, here's our shipping department. And then the area down, we call it downstairs, it's just down the ramp. All kinds of space to expand.
So you're not going to rent this. You're going to take that extra space and grow in it.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Wow.
Like I mentioned, our renters
How many square feet
just
is
got
that?
out. Do what?
How many square feet is that?
How many square feet is that?
Probably about 35,000.
35,000 about. We keep steel down here. Excess.
Yeah, it's getting a little spotty as you go.
Oh, hang on. Let me get outside where I got more service. Yeah, because I'm not on Wi-Fi anymore. Get out here in the sun. Okay. should have plenty of service out here.
Yep. So is there, how big do you want to grow?
We want.
Were you talking about in the 5-year plan kind of thing?
Yep. Yeah. What's the ultimate plan? I mean, do you want to be?
Yeah. I was saying.
Do you want to fill in that 35,000 square feet?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. We've already got ideas in our.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, we're gonna go back into his office when we have service.
Okay.
Should be. There we go. I think it connected finally. There we go.
Yeah, I would say within 5 years, we'll have quite a bit down below as far as the machine shop portion of it. Give us better room to work, be more efficient.
And do you have any more new machines coming in? Are you set for that at the moment?
One's coming in hopefully next week. Another milling machine.
Yeah. And he's finishing up on another lathe that he's been retrofitting with new controls. And then we have another lathe, production lathe, that we're looking at diving into to help our production.
Cool. Do you all ship internationally, or is everything mostly here, American?
It's mostly here. We do sell those 400 heads that we have ready to go out. Those are going to Taiwan. We did sell some to a company in Germany, but mostly U.S. A lot of stuff goes into Canada.
Yeah, we do sell a lot into Canada.
Mostly not individual. Most of that goes through supply houses.
Distributors.
Yeah.
So you don't sell your stuff online. You mostly do wholesale, do distributors, and you buy through them.
We sell quite a bit online too. But we don't try to compete with our distributors. We don't give any discounts. And so what we sell to a distributor, if they want to discount it, we don't try to match that or anything like that. I don't want to get crossways with what they're doing, so.
That makes sense. All right. So is there anything I missed? Anything you want to add?
I'm not sure.
No, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
We enjoy
thank you. I appreciate you all joining us
Yeah, thanks for having
and
us.
taking the time to talk with us and let us know a little bit more about your company.
Absolutely.
And thank you. And we're going to save this on the page, and it'll also be on YouTube.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a great day.
All right. You
Thanks.
too.
You as well.
Thank you.